And
let's go.
okay, welcome everyone to the 38th Health Teaching Workshop of the Kesh Foundation Spaceship Institute. And we're going to move right into the workshop here. And today we'll have a series of questions and answers will be the main topic so far as I know. But we'll move into Mr. Kesh and see what he has to say here. Okay, Mr. Kesh, are you ready to go?
Yes, we are. Try it. It works. But then you control it for different reasons. Then you control it in different way for different things that used for communication. We are ready to go whenever you are, Mark.
You're on now, and we're ready. The video's on the setup for the power cell setup here.
Yes, there is there. We are on it. See it.
Hello. I'm not hearing any audio.
You lost what?
No, I guess he wasn't talking. We thought we lost the audio, but it's just you weren't talking, I think. So go ahead. You can talk now.
Are you ready, Rick?
Yes, we've been ready. Can you hear me, Mr. Kesh?
Yes.
Yes, we're ready. There, the camera should be on you. There we go. Ready to go.
That was a very nice presentation by the Chinese. I like that fat boy. Are we ready to go?
Absolutely. We've been ready and waiting here.
Ready. If you can see the picture, we are ready to go. Oh, he leaves his glasses.
Pictures up. Yes, you correct. Yeah, go ahead. We're live, we're ready to go. We're broadcasting for the last 3 minutes, Mr. Cash. Ready for your words of wisdom.
Okay, no problem. I'm getting old. The ears getting hard to hear. So you have to excuse my old age. As I said, people my age retire. I started a new headache for myself and the humanity. So welcome to the workshop, health workshop of 14th of July 2015. This week we have thought a lot in the past couple of weeks on the health section. If there are any questions, I'll try to explain. Are there any questions on the health side, on the live stream, or any other line? We can answer. We try to, because we thought a lot without actually answering any questions. There are no questions?
Just
in the old system, I could see the question. In the new system, I just see pictures.
Well, in the Zoom group chat, there's usually that's where the questions will be, but I don't have a question there yet. I think there's something in the.
Is Kevin Davina away this week?
No, he's in the chat.
Ah, he's very quiet. He's used to score €1 this week.
He's waiting for his big one question a week, I think. Let's see if there's something in the live stream here.
Here it says what is being done since Professor Lucia stopped cooperating with the KF. We haven't stopped cooperating with Professor Lucia. The system which he brought in did not show what was promised. So now we have developed a much more sophisticated system operation in conjunction with a knowledge seeker. That's what it is. Because what happened, I explained to you why we stopped the process with Professor Lutzi. Professor Lutzi brought what you've seen and the detection system like a stereophonic headphone to add to it and the other system which was shown. And what we did, we put it in a box, a sealed box, and we were supposed to measure the what we wanted to measure. Professor Lutzi was not aware of what I was putting in the container in the box, because then he had to tell us what he's seen. And the first diagram showed a very good response. The second diagram was fantastic, but I saw immediately, because I'm very aware of the systems like this. I said, okay, it's the third one. Can you measure, please? And he gave me a very good result. I said, Professor Lucy, can you look in the box? He said, yes. It's a fantastic result. I said, I put nothing in there. So you're not giving me a correct reading. It's just a random whatever comes up, and I have to accept it's impossible. So the reading was of an empty box, and that was not what's supposed to be. We had tested with another material. We got the same result. It showed more or less a lot of false reading, and is left to Professor Lucy to correct the system. Because when we, it's no good just coming back and just guessing the data because it looks good. It's called the double blind test. We brought one of the staff here to do the reading. We brought the secretary of Dr. Lutzi to take reading. He looked everything just because it could be some figures. But when I put in double blind, there was nothing in the box. Professor Lutzi was not aware of what I put in the box. And the reading was perfect, fantastic. We could see diseases, but of what? Nobody. The box was sick. So we had to stop it till he could, what do you call it, update the system. And meanwhile, the foundation has invested its personal finances in a system which we think would be more accurate to the pinpoint to other bits. And we are using this system now in what they call in conjunction with one of the cancer cases. The gentleman who's using it in most probably is on the line, and he is joining us back in September as part of the medical team development of the system. The problem with Professor Lutzi was he could just create data, but he could not translate data because he had no clue how to translate the data, what comes on. They just program, what we call it, programs off the shelf, and it created a lot of images. And this could have been making sense to some people, but scientifically it was impossible to make sense of. And the proof of it was when we start putting literally empty containers in, it still gives you a fantastic data, but in fact, it was random data which created by the machine. So we haven't stopped collaboration. It's just that the system gives you a lot of false reading. That's what has happened. The system, Professor Lucy himself says, has a flaw in it because he cannot interpret. He just creates data, and then you guess data. Where with a new position we have created with our colleague in Canada, he has 12 years of experience of reading data. He understands the process. He can bring, translate where the problem is, how it looks, and everything else. And I spent a couple of days with him with the machine here. We have a copy of the machine with us here, they left behind. And so we can develop the technology in the correct way. Because it's no good what do you call it, get the system to somebody and say you have a cancer, but it's actually a cold. Or somebody who has no cancer, tell them you have a cancer. And we could not pinpoint exact where the problem was. You've got a, what do you call it, a problem in your bones, but which bone? Where? With Professor Lutzi, that capability doesn't exist. With the new system, we can more or less pinpoint organs and where in the organs and that kind of thing. We tested it. It cost 11,000 Canadian dollars. I authorized the purchase a couple of last week, which brings up this gentleman can read the data. It's not just correcting and then guessing. We don't need that this situation. So we were coming back with a more precise data reading and everything else because we couldn't use the system.
Okay, there is a question that Sandor is passing on from Nevin. Perhaps about Siddha medicine. Shall I read that?
What?
Well, it's a rather long question here. I'll just read it and see how it goes.
I'm reading it. I'm reading it.
Okay. I don't understand what the actual question is there.
I do not know. I don't know about enough about, or I have never heard of it to say I know enough to make any comment. So I have to pass this. When I know something, I can tell. I've
Okay.
been this weekend to Tunnel Raven, Bosnia, the medic listings, magnetic test like K5, very big magnet, weight about 25 tons. So my husband magnet video the tape with Python energy display autograph. Ensure that the energy is very good for health for man. I'd like to explain the plasma or canned plasma being recorded. I have that video on my laptop, but I don't know how can I attach it with attachment. Somebody can advise here, and then we can see what it is because I don't understand. I have no idea what this is.
Okay, we'll try to get that video lined up. There was a question in the live stream. How are the cancer tests going?
We will know when we know the final results, we'll tell you. There was a reading done last week. The reading was done the week before, and we'll publish it as a whole because it's not, you don't build the results in everything, and we are still carrying on. We'll announce it when it's done, when it's completed. Don't forget, the cancer research usually takes months and years before you gather data. You lot are too quick. You want it today. We can give it to you, but the indication are what it tells. Is what's his name online from Canada? Francois wins. Hello. Unmute him because he's done some reading, I think, today or this last week. Francois, what's your weekly report on your cancer volunteer? Hello? He mutes me. How do they want to hear me? You have a very bad line, Francois. We can't hear you. Hello? I'm muted. How can I speak? Nobody hears.
Yeah, that's. I'm not sure what to
Can we
do. But
get him online?
what do you think, Vince? Is that a problem at his end, or Francois? You want to try unmuting again? Checking
Oh,
Francois.
maybe we got too many Francois.
It's the only Francois here, so.
Check for the name Fleabot in the list of participants.
Yeah.
Hello, Francois.
Yeah, we can't hear it all from Francois.
Oh, be on planet Zeus.
It's very bad. Yeah, it's the backwoods of Canada, probably.
The strange thing is, you lot are all in Canada and nothing is correct with it. Change your system.
We're trying. We're trying. We'll change the system one way or another. Well, how about we go on to a couple of other questions here, perhaps?
Okay, no problem. It says, is there any way to reverse or slow down the aging process? I hope you're not very old, but it can be done. Oh, I see an old man with the glasses. Straight away comes on. You can, yes, doesn't work for Westinghouse, unfortunately. The, 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 the process of aging can be slowed down. In a way, you don't slow it down. You allow the cells to receive the energy they want because they don't receive the right energy, the right kind of plasmatic energy, and that's why you'll find you can do a lot of things. But yes, it can be done, and in the future we might leave and start delivering a system for this purpose. I've used it a few times, and it's a beautiful system to build, and it works every time. It works. How to treat Alzheimer's using health cups. The best way to sort Alzheimer's, you got to design a cup for it. Alzheimer's is what I call partially due to deliberate wanting not to remember. You have to sort out the psychological part and the emotional part, and then the whole thing changes. Any other question?
Got a question in the live stream. Many people live with implanted heart pacemaker. Can the heartbeat be managed with plasma technology?
In a way, yes, but when we use our system in the past with anything we do with the heart pacemakers or heart valve, we have had problems with over racing of the heartbeat. So it can be done, but it has to be done totally in a plasmatic condition and not in the process as we done with what do you call it, with the matter state system. In the future, yes, it can be done.
Okay. There was a question about Mr. Kesh said it's important not to have cancer cells in your blood as you use it. I'm not sure. I think is that the cup of life? I think he's talking about. And Vin says, why? Is that also true for other sick cells?
Yes, because you transfer the information, plasmatic magnetic field, into the medium, doesn't matter if it's water or a plasma, and it'll be replicated in the future. It happens and you can do it, and you can repeat it. So you need to achieve the best condition, that you don't carry any. There is no difference between the cancer cell and, you want me? Ah, okay. I'm an unwanted child, no problem. You have to understand as much as you can carry emotion, you can carry the different strength of the materials in your body. You do the same thing with the sick or defect cells in your body too, because it doesn't recognize one or the other. Any other question?
Not seeing any other questions immediately here. They're trying to send that video to
Okay.
the patch.
So we don't have that many questions. Is maybe we can add to the knowledge. That's what we used to do and what we do on Tuesdays on the medical side. Somehow we are leaving footprints all over the board. One of the points you are not with us as knowledge seekers, but you come on Thursdays on the medical part, is how we have developed from the position of eating animals, what we call the horizontal people, or vegetables, what we call vertical people. In the process of the teaching in past couple of weeks, we have moved away from the condition of physicality. So we have gone into a condition where we can create cups which might contain water or contain gas or GANs to transfer the essence of the need for food into space, where we place different kind of gases in the surrounding of the container, and then we can transfer the information into the container. Up to now, we always spoke about the water or gas, what we breathe. Now, one of the possibilities and options for you is the use of GANs inside the container. So you don't need to carry any more food. You don't carry the whatever you call it, a banana or cheese or chicken, but you can do in a condition where you transfer the information, the totality, into a gas material. This is one of the efficient ways of doing it. If you don't have a star formation, to transfer the totality into the free plasma, you can use GANs. None of you up to now has used this technology, this system. You put water, you put air, or whatever. What about if you decide to transfer while you're putting the ganses outside to create a base GANs as pure as possible, nothing else in it, and still put your hands on it. Still put the fruit on top. And transfer the knowledge into the GANs. You don't have access to rotation. You don't have access to reactors to make a star formation. And then you put your hands, your body, your banana, or whatever on top of the cup. The information in the GANs will be pure without any adulteration. Means you cannot interfere with any of it because you work within the GANs. This is one of the purest way to do transformation of information, of energy, food. Because when you have water, when you have air, they behave as a GANs because they're in the confinement of the GANs. It's like when you swallow the food. But now, if you process the system in a GANs itself, you have exact copy. It's totally different ballgame, totally different understanding, totally an increase in the correct conduct of the behavior of the GANs in the environment when you deliver it. So what you can do, pardon? Is there a question? No, you have the GANs inside and you transfer the total GANs state of the information. So you do not need to use water. You use the strength of the magnetic field of the GANs as a storage. You use the GANs. You were using the water as a storage with creating the GANs condition to link up through transfer of magnetic gravitational field. Now, instead of creating an environment here to store the energy, as you said, you drank the water, it tasted like melon or tastes like hamburger or whatever. Now you store the information in the GANs, not in the water. You fill up the container with the GANs material, not with liquid of water or anything else. This is one of the most purified ways to do it. Why? Because if you drank the water, it's finished. But if you take the GANs and put it in another container, forever you can drink from it. Now, this GANs carries the full information forever. You don't need to eat the GANs, but the water, you can multiply it, test it. If you find the right combination GANs in your system and you can use it for this, you don't need to put a banana every time under there to have it here. You already made a finger copy, print of it. You have a container. Forever you can drink banana whenever you want. You understand? But you have to choose the right GANs that has a balance with the human body texture. Because if you don't find the right GAN, oh, a coffee. Yes, please. No joke. I can smell it. So now you learn a new way to feed yourself. And then in this way, if you take, why I brought this question up, because the question which was raised just now. So what you do, if you're a healthy person at the peak of your age at 20, 25, we are past. I'm talking with the young boys. You make a cup of your life in that shape, and you drink. You store it. The energy will not change. You can make a double layer to protect the conversion. You can forever eat and drink. Energies at the age of 20 when you made it. It's a cup of life at the youth when you want it. This is what the dream of every man is. To stay young. Find a virgin girl, that's your dream, that she young, makes you young, all the old man wish. You drink from the cup of youth. This has been in fairy tales, in the essence of all the dreams of the man. We call it the cup of youth, where we can become young. You ask the question, now you get the answer. You don't need to go and look for it. It's there. But make sure he or she hasn't got diseases that you don't like. This is the problem. Good morning. How old would you like to be? He's confused. So the one who asked for, can we have a cup to make us young? Now you have a system that you can replicate. Forever, if you find a right youth life and you can condition it to a GANS and control the GANS in a way that it does not lose its essence, you can have a cup of youth as long as you want. This is what I give to the people who are old. There is somebody here, he's one of the knowledge seekers in the background. He knows I've done it with a 80-odd years old lawyer in Belgium. And I've done it with a few old people because they deserve to live a normal life. We all die, but at least happy life. One of them caused so much problem that the daughter came to me and says, excuse me, Mr. Cash, can you do something? My mother is tired of my father because he became 18-year-old boy with a 75-year-old wife. It was impossibility. So it can be, yes, I can call the number, she will tell you. She's a medical woman. Physically, you don't need the emotion, the feeling is there, and the physicality follows. You don't get your. We had, if you go back on the Cash Foundation tapes, there is a video that the wife even says that the hair is black, turning black, and she fell in love with this guy when he was young because of his hair. He was going white and bold, and now he was getting hair, and she is a Dutch man. It can change the color, everything can change. So those who've been looking for a cup of life, don't find yourself a wife, but find yourself a young person who's happy, without addiction, without any problem, no psychological, because once you drink it, you carry the disease. Because it's there. So you've been looking for a cup of life. It's not that you drink it once. Yeah? This is the one of the crises we have in South Africa. The president of South Africa, I haven't listened to the news, but they're still in power. He says the solution is his belief. The solution for HIV is raping or sleeping with a virgin girl, and then it goes away. It's one of the biggest problems in South Africa. People do. Some believe in that because it's been done. So, in fact, if you change the scans to the position of storing full memory, you just change the GANs into the confined cup that does not lose its characteristics. It's very easy to do. Then you can have, every morning you have a cup of tea, you have a glass of water. Boys, Would you like a black hair, very long? No. You want to say, oh, he wants. Oh, you want to. No problem. Find yourself a cup of youth. In ancient time, it was taught to the South Americans and they used it very effectively, but the knowledge is lost. When you look at the lines in different parts of South America, they had a close contact with the people who understood and taught the technology because they were pure race. They didn't have that much mix in them. Asia, Africa, it's too many combinations. South America is very much isolated. It could be tested. And it's done for thousands of years. So you drink from a cup which stays always 20 years old. It never changes. I'm worried about the men. If they have it, there is no problem. But if their wives drink it, then there is a problem. It works both ways. He laughs. He's got 3 of them at home. So be careful in what the knowledge can do. I can market this very quickly, but I can give you a lot of diseases too, because you have to find out of your own resources. You can adjust in your body in what you want to drink, in what you want to absorb with it. Would it carry the food you like, or would it carry the soul and the behavior you like? So it's been said in the holy books, pray for your child 25 years before he's born, that it'll be good and just. So now, when you gave life, you create a perfect child at the age of 20. If he can, before comes into the line of life and everything else, which is finished now, make a copy of guns of himself in formality, he'll never die. He'll always be young, young. This has been the dream of you lot. You test the banana, you smell the banana, now you know the truth how to do it in reality. The banana every day, mix it, put that there, some banana on it, and exact recipe that you are eating in a young age. If you eat the same mistake you used to eat when you were 20 now, you go sick. You have a whole night staying awake. You can't do that. You do that anyway, it can't help you anyway. So, in so many ways, there is a way you can change the structure while you transform it to the level you want. Then it goes how pure you are in touch with your soul. I've got Sandy thinking very bad. He's taught something very wrong to Bill today now. How am I going to stop this one? Very simple. You drink from the same cup. Oh, God. The process is, we tested this initially, as I've told you this before, 4 or 5 years ago, 3, 4 years ago. And I had a 2 old couple who came to us because I told you he used to sell lights and things for getting healthy. And then he turned up in front of me. He says, it doesn't work. I have to sell it for my income. And then I changed the cup of the husband and wife. And we saw they start living a normal life because they shared average the best part of each other, which gave both the balance. What was wrong in him disappeared. What was wrong in her, and totality, because they start drinking from the same cup, they brought the same balance. And there were people who used to stay home. They couldn't go anywhere. Now you couldn't stop them shopping because now they could go out. They could do things together. So you compensate. That way, you still can do with this. You go, you find yourself a healthy man, which is healthy not in physicality, but in soul. and then you can change the physicality the way you want, which is very hard nowadays because the soul will be carried by the gans the same as the physicality. Then you stay young, you drink from the same cup. You still can go and do a marathon, but be careful. The muscles are not as good as before. You have to practice it. You have to exercise it to build it back to the point. It's not that it's going to happen overnight. You have to work at it. How many times you see teachers which go out with the youth and then they go to the outside activity? You find a teacher in a lot of cases with a heart attack, all sorts of problems because the youth do it and he thinks at the age of 50 is still 20 or 16. The body doesn't answer because they exercise every day. The last time he exercised was when he was 30. So the muscle doesn't push. You see all sorts of problems. I've lost a couple of my teachers this way. And then I realized what is going on here. But it only happens to them, not to us. So you can actually do this. Do not ever use anything below 20, 21 years old because young age mutates. And then that mutation can cause a lot of problem in the body of the man. It has to be at the point of maturity and perfection, both in soul and in physicality. So you can drink from this cup till the cows come home. The only problem is you still get old. You still go through the aging process, but the physicality stays. Part of it you still can reverse. There are processes that you can still stop the aging process. But this is the cup of you, what you've been looking for. Understand when you're making the gases, the salinity is very important. Understand the calcium rate is important. Understand the copper rate is very important. And then on top of it, don't forget the zinc, because when you are at this age with a body of the 50, you need psychological control of your sexuality, which comes through zinc. That's why Viagra sells very well. So you have to understand, it's not just tomorrow I'm going to make a GANS and I'm going to do it. You have to make a combination of GANSes that can create the pure condition, the right GANS combination, or one GANS on its own, which is very difficult. And then you put it outside the container, and every morning you say, "Hi, darling, can I have my glass of water for morning, please?" Or don't leave your pulse heated in at night, because the energy comes. Yes, I've tested a lot of stupid things. I tell you, I know what is going on. So you've been looking for a cup of life, rejuvenate, but now you know how. It took me millions of years, and it takes me 2 minutes to explain, because the man is mature and ready to understand. So now try to make a business out of it for yourself and nobody else. And I'll tell you something, not everybody can make this cup, because you have to carry the soul of the man. Of course. You put your hands in it, you put your head in it. It carries your soul. I bet your wife will divorce you if you get it from an 18-year-old girl, because you start behaving that way.
Well, Mr. Kesh, there's a question in the live stream from David. He
No, we
says,
don't sell a cup.
David says, Mr. Kesh, I'm in my 40s and I have hair from my body that when I was 8 years old. Can I use that hair to make GANs for my cup? And if so, will it help reverse my
Still goes through the process of aging and mutation. You see, what you are does not count. You can find clothing which, when you were young, if any of you kept anything, I used to be a hippie. When I was a student, I used to be absolute 70s hippie. Long hair, afro hair, torn jeans, and I was a disgrace to nuclear engineering department of Queen Mary College. Everybody came very smart, and I was there because I had to be there. They had to accept me. If I can find some of the hair of that time, yes, it's the perfect match. I still got to go back to Queen Mary, find the department. Maybe there's a hair somewhere there. They haven't cleaned up properly. Then I can replicate it. Yeah.
So in this case, the
It's
guy
still
here
evolving.
from 8 years
Still
old.
evolving.
Pardon
You
me?
got to be at the point of maturity. As I told you before, the suit doesn't indicate the man. I used to be a total hippie. If you see the picture of my student time, my head of department told me and my professor told me, if you didn't have the knowledge, I would have kicked you out of here. You're a disgrace. I said, this is how I am. You want to accept me? This is how I come. And I found a professor worse than me. I thought he was a cleaner. Do you see? We're all the same in this department, just not me. So I was excused. Actually went to the professor. I never knew him. I said, excuse me, are you looking for something here? He said, I'm Professor so-and-so. I said, I'm your only student. So we talked. So if I could find my hair from that time, I can make a cup of life for myself. But do I want to live in this life? No. I had my time. But if your aim is, now you know how to do it. But don't forget, you are not a baba, you are a papa. Then what do the grandchildren say? Look at him, the old man wears pink trousers and what do you call it? Shorter sleeve t-shirts with everything written on it. So now you're looking for a cup of life, you know how to make it to be you. Do you want to do it? Nah. Why not? This is a very good news for Jewish people. You know why? In Jewish religion, the first cut of hair of a boy is kept. Correct? You got to be a Jew to know. So I have to go and find my grandmother. Where is mine? So now we know we have plenty of young Jewish guys around very soon. Now because the hairs are kept. One of the things which you can use effectively is your wisdom tooth. Everybody's going, this is what happened to mine. All four of them. God help her. So now you see what it is. How you can make the cup of youth. You have every means to do it. It costs 10 euro from a supermarket called Aldi or Lidl. You put the right gas injection in it. Mark Arman knows how to do it. He's made many of them. Seal it. Keep it in a container that doesn't have too much interaction. And every morning, just throw in it and drink some. You'll be amazed gradually what changes. It carries the soul of the youth. It carries the body of the youth. It carries the energy transfer of the youth. If you could transfer a banana taste, if you transfer a sausage, now you transfer yourself. Sandy says, oh my God, what is he teaching today? I thought I was getting used to something, it got worse. But you come here to learn about the plasma and not matter state anymore. And this is one of the conditions. You need this. In serious condition, you need this. If you have tested yourself and you go into space and something goes wrong, you need to be able to put it right. You have to have a copy of yourself. You never know. You've forgotten. It's been such a long time ago. Do you remember going to disco till 5 o'clock in the morning and going back to work 9 o'clock in the morning at the desk 5 days a week? 5 days a week. I used to do it. Oh, 5 days a week. No, don't think of the kids. Have the fun. Forget about the kids. You know the mistakes. Bill, you're in problem. So now you know what to do. And then if you want to go a step further, you can do with a combination of the gases to create a free plasma containers, which is more perfect. Yeah. But you haven't learned enough to capture the plasma yet, to create reactors without confinement. Well, this is a midterm good solution. Armand is looking at that thing. What am I going to do with it next? You cannot do. So maybe then you can put all your favorite food on top of each other, not just banana, because it holds. And then with one drink, you have everything you want to have. You can make it, we've done it, as I've told you before, that by drinking water, you can get drunk. No, just water. Just make the cup in a specific way that body replicates alcohol in the body. Every cancer is reversible in the body of a man with a one right move, one action. Any cancer, anyone can change status of a cancer with one right move. But do you want to live? What's the reason of extending the torture? But if you understand the process of creation and development of the cancer, you need to do one thing. You don't need a plasma reactor. I've done it so many times, people don't see it because it's done in such a subtle way that it works. You do it yourself within 7 days, 10 days, within 2 months, people don't find cancer in you. Remember, the world of plasma, I've been teaching you all the time, is dependent on creating the condition. You create a condition of psychologic, it transfers into physicality. You create a condition of physicality that stays the same. If you change it, you can do it. Anybody, any of you, I bet, any money you want to put in the bank, which you can afford to the Keshe Foundation to benefit, you got a cancer, within days, doctors can do all the checks. There is no cancer. But we want to go the plasma way because that is creating change of condition. It's not there. It's not what it's supposed to. You put all your money in the world on the table, and I put it live. Everything can watch. No cancer. When I did it to a Dutch guy years ago, I had to create a persona for it, but in reality, it was easy. So look at what is there. And even if you have a cancer, when you do it, you create a condition that the material GANS does not transfer the cancer condition. But we have to go through steps to learn the process of life. You lot were happy with water and a banana. Now you have youth. What do you want to do with the youth? Do you want to be more again young again? No. Had enough. Play the game. Would you like the maturity of the old or the body of the young? Maybe the soul of the young. But can the body carry it? Or is it something we would like to think we have access to, but we don't want to exercise? This is what I used to say to my volunteers, especially with what do you call it, fibromyalgia and other ones. They used to come at the age of 50, 60. I know I could do, and then they come and they report that, excuse me, you're getting voice back. The voice. So they used to come and tell me, excuse me, I have a problem, Mr. Cash. I said, what is it? I've got my menstruation back. I had my menopause 10 years ago. What happened? I said, do you want it or you don't want it? And they always used to come with the husband and says, be careful, you're a papa. You don't become a baba, which means from a grandfather, you don't want to be called dad. This is very traditional in Italy, huh? 70-year-old girl, men with 25-year-old girls, and you see a little running around. They say to me and my son, is he your grandfather? No, he's my dad. The age gap is 45, 47 years old. So, you see, you can do anything you like. This is what goes back to your discussion this morning. You know the plasma, you play the plasma game, you don't need to be gynecologist, and you don't need to be psychologist, you don't need to be food specialist. You got to understand how you transfer information through the plasma. I was waiting for this for some of you, maybe last week or the week before. You come up with it, but nobody did. I thought these people are become monkey see, monkey do. They don't extend the knowledge. So now I put it there. I told you, put your hand on it in the teaching and you get your information. But you always look at the water and matter state. This is what I told you yesterday in your teaching. Get yourself, every time you do a tutorial, 1, 2, or 3 plasma officers. The minute any of you start talking about matter states, we're in plasma. See, you get used to it. I have a plasma in a gaseous state of the body of a man, a gas of the material contained in the gas. I don't go outside. I don't convert to matter. And then I tell you, even when you put it, cover it, because then whatever you put in here behaves as a gas. You can even put your head in it. You still will receive the same energy. Learn to work in the same system. Understand the conversion between the matter and the gas and the plasma, then it's easy. So all those who you've been looking for a youth, a cup of youth, there it is. I want to know how many of you have the guts to try it. Because don't forget, there is a problem, huh? If you make this from your present time, you still be in the present time. So in 70 years' time, you'll be drinking from today, not 70 years. So you're a bit too late. But there is a way, if you know how to change it, you can boost it to the young age. So you can create a gravitational plasmatic magnetic field to boost certain aspects that you can reverse the age back by up to 50 years. So you can do that. There's no problem. But the only problem is, would the body and the shape carry the emotion and physicality of the control? Oh, 9 years it takes. Different part of the body completely changes 9 years. And the problem is, if you haven't used some muscles for about 20 years, they're still there, then you find out, you tell them, and there will be more pain. You'll be walking like this. We did that in one of our cases. We were so happy that this woman could move, and she was so happy that she could move out of MS. After 5 years of paralysis, she went like this, which she couldn't even move a hand. She tore a muscle. A year and a half, Caroline and I, we had a problem with torn muscle, which wasn't moving. A lot of insulin injection. And she was 180 kilo. So you got to understand, you have the possibility, you have the opportunity. Now you're looking for it, work on it. Maybe you get to it. And one of the reasons I brought this up, one of the best ways to capture this and hold on to and be able to replicate it is the fat boy. If you can create a system like a fat boy, which creates a central plasma on its own, and you can contain it, you transfer all the energy into it of your age, you can adjust it, and then transfer it into a cup, and what comes out of its atmosphere, the way you've seen it, will give you what you want to drink. Now your dilemma is bigger. How many people are going to make a fat boy tomorrow? Full of slim ones.
Mr. Kesh, there's a question from Nadine in the live stream. She says, I've understood there's a holistic connection between color, sound, and ratio to be balanced. Could you explain more the effects of color and sound and ratio or proportion?
In what essence? In what means? For what? For the cup?
Well, she says, following that, I put my hands on the CO2 kit. Also used Iranian salt and Hawaiian salt for a change, and made a sound with a homemade bell while starting the kit.
I don't understand. Repeat from the beginning.
Okay, she says, I've understood there is a holistic connection between color / sound / ratio to be balanced. Could you explain more the effects of color / sound and ratio proportion?
For what reason? For what purpose?
I don't know. She goes on to say, I put my lost my comments here. Just a second.
You're going?
Just
The
a minute.
last?
I lost all my comments in the chat here because it's
Home or home?
format.
Huh?
Okay.
You're going home. Blah, blah.
She goes on to say, I put my hands on the CO2 kit and made a sound with a homemade bell while starting the kit.
I
So
can't understand. Can you repeat? She made the CO2 kit. Can you post it that we can read it?
I think she needs to restate her question so it makes sense, because it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. It's yours.
She went on to say that she really wants her question asked, but I don't see what the question is. So, Nadine, could you please rephrase your question so that we can understand it?
Okay, we are getting to about 5 o'clock. Do we have the children program today?
No, we'll have the Spanish will be coming up shortly.
Okay, no problem.
That's okay.
So maybe today you got one step further to find out there is no point to return. I've got a very sad face of Sandy. She says, what I'm going to do now with this one. Maybe you can find yourself a mermaid. Perfect. You got to realize one of the best youth combination you can find is in Africa and South America, where people are not touched with physicality, they are pure in heart, they're still pure in feeling, and that's where your secret sits. You got to go back to your origin where it came from. Then you understand the cup of youth sits within the beauty of the creation. Everybody be looking, running to Africa. We took the machetes, now we take them cups of life. Can you put your hand on it, please? Just stay there for 1 hour. You want to do it in 1 second? Look how good. All that information in 1 minute? You're too fast. No wonder you were born 7 months. So now you understand what to do. And don't forget, you need a license. Nowadays you have to get it certified by CE. Huh? They claim, make sure you have a certificate to use your own system. The crooks extend the crook business further to their own limit. Be careful, you need a CE license. Apparently it's on the internet. So you need a CE license to find the right man in Africa to bring him to use the system.
Sorry, by the way, if you check on the internet,
Pardon?
sorry for talking about. I'm working in photovoltaic business. We are using power converters who are transforming solar power into electric power, and they are connected to the grid. And if you look at the most of the documentation licenses, you will find such a CE declaration of conformity, which is a declaration written by manufacturer on his own responsibility that yes, this product has been manufactured according to the regulations. It's no license, it's a declaration of the manufacturer that he declares, yes, this doesn't do any harm and it respects the rules. So it's a very simple declaration of the manufacturer. It's no licensing procedure. So that's a false information.
Yes, these are the people, they use it when it fits them, they scare the others. Don't forget, since we launched the Thursday launch of the new energy system, the Belgium system has started kicking in because they have no more control. Now everything is wrong, and everything we done is wrong. It's part of the same structure. You understand? Because now the control is out of the controllers and their agents have to do their work. So we understand what's happening. We are not blind. And that's why I asked Sandro to check all the legalities that we can launch the CO2, what do you call it, the power supply in a good faith. And now you got your answers. We release it as a perfect system, which is not harming. The ones who are scaremonger, these are the paid agents that have to serve their masters. So, any other question?
Okay, we have a question. Okay.
If there was a need for CE certificate, none of the solar cells could ever be put on the top of a roof. You put it on your roof and you put your child to sleep under it. Where is the certificate for it? You put the mask on top of the house and you live with it. The most beautiful type is the masks which are on top of the churches. Do they get in touch with God, or is it a way of making money? Do you know that? Two Iranians went when the wireless communication came. They knew there's a spot you needed around everywhere to have a uniform cover in the city, especially dense areas. Where is better than the church? They went and they bought all the rights to the space above the churches to be able to put the mask. That time, priests never understood what is happening, but they rented the space for nothing, and then they rented it to the internet companies, what do you call it, the mobile phone companies, to put their mask up. So they get a direct line of communication with God through the church on top of the cross. Fantastic, huh? So now you can do the same.
We have a question from Andrea. She says, what if I put my head or my hand on top of the cup of life and I concentrate myself on a specific sensation I have had when I was a child, like eating a perfect peach? My emotions about that fruit will pass on to the gans or water, or will I copy all the information about me in the gans?
The total energy. But don't forget, when you put your hand on a cup of water, gans, you have already transferred all that information through anyway. Every single cell of you carries all the RNA and the information. It's not just one piece. But you have to choose which way you want to do and what you want to take out, and allow it to be done in the right way of the totality of the information. That's what I said. I can create one small condition, change in your body, you won't have any cancer. And it's so simple. I have wondered for years, but nobody has ever seen it. And I'll tell you something, you don't need to eat anything. To eat anything is not a medicine, it's a condition. Huh? You think I'm going to tell you so easy? In the next edition. So you have to understand what you've done to yourself and what you have carried. And then you understand how to do it.
In that regard, Dennis says, what about hereditary diseases? How do you overcome those before drinking from the cup of life or the cup of youth? Do you have to overcome them first before drinking?
You have to find out how the deformities came into operation, through emotion or through physicality, and what was the extent of the change which was needed to create the deformity. Don't forget to use deformity, but that's perfection to your structure of your RNA. That's how it comes, that's how it works. Because if it wasn't there, the RNA could not take its shape the way it was supposed to. So to your RNA, to use deformity, because in front of the others, you're different. But your RNA is a perfection. This is what you got to understand, what you want to change in that condition. Have you taken a reading for today afternoon? What are we? We are 45.1 to 8.3. 45.1 to 8.3. 45.1 to 8.3. 56 kilowatt hour. How much were we on Monday? $39.4, 6.22, 35, going to. It's just building up. As we go further, this
33.2.
pardon?
Isn't it a 33.2?
Here.
No, it's the first one. The other number.
So 33, sorry. I told you I've never done maths. So you see the difference? Building up, building up.
And that was yesterday.
Yes, yesterday, well, I don't know what was the last night reading. It's just building up continuously. The saturation is getting bigger and bigger. So, thank you very much for today. And we go to the Spanish just on time. We
Yes.
double zero on the 17. Thank you very much. See you next time. And hopefully somebody will come and tell us, I feel 20. Bye. Thanks, Vince.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Cash. Okay. That wraps up the 38th Health Teaching Workshop for Tuesday, July 14th, 2015. Thank you, everybody, for attending.